Okay, everybody, this is going to be a tutorial on how to log into Smart Music after you have been approved. So the first step is you're going to go to this I need to join a class link. That's where you're going to put in your email address and the class code that you can find on Schoology. So let's say after you've done all of that, you would return to this login screen and you would type in either username or email address, then the password that you created, and then you will log in. So once you are in, you might see something like this. If you just go to the home button, you'll see all of the assignments and all the other fun stuff you could find here. So this is an example for beginning band. There's going to be a lot more in here for beginning band just because I have all of the band karate lines from 17. If we view all assignments, then you will see the list of all of the band karate lines for those that are, and I put them in order as well. So from 13 all the way to the chromatic scale. That's the last thing for the black belt. So as you can see right now, I've done none of these. All of these are due at the end of May because we can continue using this program if we do end up going back to school. Doesn't look likely right now, but just in case, I put all of these in here and they can be used whether we go back or not. And you can do this to pass off those lines. Obviously, remotely, this is going to be the way to do it. And if not, then we can do it in class. It's just this is going to be a lot faster for everybody to get it done if you want to try to get to that top level. Again, that's for beginning band level. So if we were to take one of these assignments, let's say I click the Might of Hercules and that says complete assignment, click that. You will select your instrument. So let's say I play bassoon and I click OK. It will take me to a screen that looks like a sheet of music. First, they give you instructions. Okay, so you read through the instructions, click close, and then you will see this. Now the part that is lit up in bold, that is your actual part that you will have to play. And if you look up top here, these are important tools. And that would be number one, the accompaniment track. You probably want to turn that down to about halfway when you're actually recording, or else it's only going to hear the accompaniment track. So you don't want that to be all the way up. Now, if you're listening to it for the first time, go ahead and keep it up. That's fine. If you want to hear what your part sounds like, you can select that. That'll turn the speaker on for that part. And then if you want the metronome to be a little quieter, you can turn that down as well. So what you will do is you can play through this. Now, as you can see, even the ones that are grayed out, you can still play along. So if you wanted to go back to the beginning of this piece, you can select right there. It'll click off and it'll let you play through the whole thing. Now, as far as when you do the actual assignment, go to assessment, and that's when you're going to want to go ahead and hit record. You can also just record as many times as you want and listen to your takes here. So there are no takes yet. So and then you can pick which take you like the best. You can also turn the subdivision on the metronome, and that'll turn it on the eighth notes, so you can hear every single pulse. And then here's where you can turn the tempo down or up as you see fit. Now for the assessment, it'll be set on a determined tempo, but if you want to practice it slower at first, feel free to do that. The other thing, there is a tuner on here, so you can tune your instrument. That's a pretty neat little feature. Don't worry about this. This is for if you're doing a jazz piece where there's swing, then you would want to turn that on. So definitely don't want to put it on swing. Now let's say you selected the wrong piece or the wrong instrument. These drop downs right here is where you can change that, at least instrument for this one. you can change that right here in this drop-down menu. So if you accidentally hit bassoon, but you meant B flat clarinet, that's how you change that. You can also choose to loop it if you want. So if I want to go here where the assessment is, and I want to hear loop, then I can set that, and it'll just loop that measure. Now, if I wanted to loop the whole thing, I can just drag that little circle all the way across until I see that's the end of those darkened notes. Okay. All right. So after you're done, you would submit that if you're ready to submit after you go through the assessment part. After you hit record, so let's just look what that would look like if we were to record it as an assessment. I'm not going to physically be playing an instrument right now, but I'm going to go through the motion so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so let me go back here. Turn my part off, turn the accompaniment part down. That's really key there that you turn that down. You can still hear it, but it doesn't need to be the dominant thing. Your voice should be the dominant one during this time. Okay, so test your microphone. Okay, so everything should be good to go. It's adjusting to my microphone right now. Sometimes this step takes a little bit longer. Right now, my microphone is built into my headset, which a lot of yours might be as well, or you might just be using the microphone that's built into your Chromebook or laptop, whatever device you're using. Now, Smart Music is available through the Google Chrome browser on your Chromebook or an iPad app. Those are the two ways, or your computer, obviously. So any kind of Google Chrome browser on a computer or Chromebook, and then also iPad app. Okay, so if we click record, it should test our microphone. Last time it didn't work, so I was trying to troubleshoot that, see if it actually goes through this time.
Okay, this is what it looks like when it finally picks up your microphone. Right now I'm just using the one that is on the computer. The headset was not working very well. So let's start. All right, so obviously I was not playing an instrument, so it was picking up the sounds of every single instrument in the band. So you have to make sure that you are playing nice and strong, your microphone's turned up a really good amount, and that your speakers, whether it's your speakers on your computer, or if you're in headphones, it's not that big of a deal because you're the only one that will hear the accompaniment track. That's what I would recommend, is wearing headphones when you're doing it, and then just make sure the microphone's picking up your sound. So it'll take some time to mess with that. Now, what I want to show you here is what happens if you get something wrong. Obviously, it'll highlight as red. Okay, so if it highlights it as red right there, it'll show you if it's the right note. If it's picking up as it was a wrong note. Nothing was played because it was hearing what was going on with the whole band track. Now the cool thing is here, when you click that little left symbol, it'll actually show you the fingering for that note. That's pretty awesome. And right here will play what the pitch sounds like, so you can fix your mistake. If you play on a rest, it'll highlight it as red. If you get the note correct, obviously highlights it as green. And if it is yellow, that means it's the right note, but maybe a little bit behind the beat. So then what it'll do is it will basically, you'll be able to see all of those mistakes, and you can save that if you wanted to, or you can delete it. So if I were to look at that, I probably would definitely decide to delete it. Or if you go, you know what, I'm not sure, maybe that's the best I can do, go ahead and click save. Okay. It might pull up where you want to save it to. So you can save it to your desktop or your Google Drive, whatever it comes up for you. Okay. So if I want to delete that, which is probably what I would do, I would click delete and it wouldn't save it and you can just start over again. Okay. So that's the gist of how to go about submitting assignments and how to practice those assignments. The other cool thing that they have offered to everybody right now for free because of all this craziness is searching content. So you can look up your method book for beginning band. That'll be on there. You can also look at by categories here. If you're interested in doing any of that kind of stuff, sight reading, if you want to get better at reading music, which we should all definitely want to get better at that. Go ahead and go through the sight reading and pick some things that are around your level. If I wanted to pick, say, some movie music, if I type that into the search bar, nothing pops up right now. Movie themes. Okay, so here's one. It gives me a difficulty. That tells me that's probably pretty difficult, but I would probably still look at it and check it out. So right here I've selected B flat trumpet because that's what I have as my default instrument for this account I made. So I can select a different one if I'm like, you know what, I play clarinet. You know what, I play third clarinet, just because why not? So this is going to look a little difficult, obviously, but it's still a lot of fun to mess around with. There's no pressure. Just go and play some things that you want to play. You can also filter it by type of music, like pop music, movie music, classical, jazz. Kind of up to you what you want to do. But there's a lot of cool elements when it comes to smart music here. So this might look really, really, really difficult, especially if you're in beginning band. But you can slow it down. So it's 162, gonna be way too fast for me. Okay, I'm gonna go to 60 beats per minute. And then I'm gonna go here where my music comes in, and I'm going to listen to how that sounds with my part and the accompaniment part just turned down a lot. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, so that's going to be a lot slower, obviously, than what you're used to hearing if you know the music from Harry Potter, but it's still a really cool and interesting way to learn how to play these things. Again, if you're like, well, how do I play that note? If I go over that note and I click this left button, there's the fingering. And it says 1 of 3. And as we know, there are alternate fingerings for the note beat. And you can match the pitch and you play it and see, well, did I sound like that? Yes. Okay, cool. Moving on. If you want the accompaniment to be a little bit louder, or you don't even want to hear your part, you just want to hear what this sounds like, and get back to the 162 tempo marking. Let's see what that sounds like starting right here. Okay, so I think you get the idea there. So again, this is just a little short tutorial on smart music, mostly for beginning band and what your music will look like. So I'll make sure that this goes up on Schoology, and I'll share this link out.